Welcome back or welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Magpie. For those of you that don't know, for my first character design video, I thought I should start with a character that I would use to represent myself online. I have a rough idea of what I want her to be. I've always been drawn to Victorian era fashion and architecture, but that's too plain on its own. Crazy to say, I know, but I love building characters that live in a fictional, fantasy-filled world. I think she would be a ship captain or an engineer. But to add that fictional flavor, what if it was a flying ship? What if this story took place in a Victorian era inspired steampunk world? That's already getting me excited. So, starting there, why does my character fly a ship? Is it to deliver goods, stopping pirates? Is she the pirate? The possibilities are endless, but my patience is not. So, let's say that she is a shuttle captain. She takes these new characters I create from world to world, or just people from her native world, from place to place. But I like the idea that she's helping me take these characters to their worlds, or to have crossovers into each other's worlds. Okay, so we have her role, a rough idea of her setting. Let's give her a name and a look. I have been a tomboy almost all of my life. Every time I have designed Mags in the past, which has been quite a bit, she has been pretty androgynous. But as I've gotten older and more comfortable in my body, there are a few more feminine features and themes that I want to add into her design. Maybe one day in the future, I'll make a video redrawing the different versions of Mags that I've designed over the years, and the thought process behind each. This one will be one of the most defined and fleshed out versions of her character so far. So, I love trench coats, but specifically the ones that have a half skirt in the back. I don't really know what they're called. Okay, found it. They are Victorian ruffle swallowtail coats. I've been collecting trench coats since I was in my early teens, and the ones I've gotten from family and DI that are in this style are my favorite. So naturally, I want to give her one. And I think it fits nicely into the silhouette of a magpie with their tail feathers. I also found these pants that are high-waisted and baggy and everything I wanted. In the reference I found they had buttons, and a part of me wishes that I added those. But I tend to be more simplistic when it comes to clothing design. Spoiler, I did end up adding those. I want to get back into being more detailed with my clothing design, but that will be for a later video. So, I started by defining the shapes and themes. We'll see how closely I follow those as I go. I wanted to start with a design of the clothes under the jacket first. I feel like a blouse with the magpie color scheme and some cool belts and corsets would be fun. I wanted to give her pockets for her tools so she could work on her ship. I ended up removing those later on for simplicity in the design, but I may add those back in later. I think she would be a solo crew for now. I messed around with the colors until I was happy with the design. I still think I might mess around with those colors some more and decide later on to change them, but right now I'm happy with them. I also gave her a hairpin for her more professional captain form. It is a callback to the earwing things I've been adding to Mags since I started designing her. This time, I think I will give her her own first and last name instead of just referring to her as Magpie. The name I've landed on is Margaret or Magnolia Keats. I can't remember how I found the name Keats, but I did when I was younger, and I have not let it go since. I'm also debating between these two names, one because Magnolia is easy to shorten to Mags, and because that is also the name of a tree that flowers, and that tree reminds me of a tree my grandma had in her backyard while I was growing up, and it felt cool. For Margaret, I've always referred to Maggie in the long form as Margaret. I'm not sure why, that's just how it's been, but I feel like changing things up and maybe Magnolia Keats is the new start for her. Once I was happy with the design, I wanted to make splash art of her flying in her ship. Okay, I think you can clearly see the struggle with perspective here and the pose. I need to get better at starting with small thumbnails instead of trying to block things out right away. I have a clear image in my head of what I want, but translating that into an illustration is still a challenge. I wanted to make this illustration feel like it was in motion, like Mags was flying past the screen. I started by looking at ships that were in the Victorian era. I wanted to mainly focus on ships that were passenger ships. rather than larger ships. I found a few different small ships, but the one I landed on was a steam launch. Usually they would be used as private yachts for the wealthy in the Victorian era, or as passenger ferries and canal boats. In this instance, of course, we're going to be using this as a passenger ferry. I looked up some different reference images and started putting together a design of the boat itself, at least the silhouette, so I could start from somewhere. With Mags, the little magpie that is my channel mascot will be her little buddy, like a parrot is for a pirate. I've always called him Art, but that was supposed to be a nickname, and the long version of that name has changed quite a bit. But I now have a little kitten in my life named Artemis that my husband and I call Artie, and that is now canon. That is now Art's full name. I had a hard time nailing down the color scheme for this, and I feel like if I gave it more time, I could really get it to where I wanted it to be. I have a full-time job, and finding time to work on art can be hard. There are a lot of things I wanted to add to this drawing, like fancy lanterns, maybe wings for the ship, but I'm sure I'll work on this more. For now, it's as far as I can get it to stick with my goal of 1 video a week. Now that we're nearing the end, I wanted to say thank you so much for all of the comments and support I got on my last video. When I first posted it, I was so excited that even 22 people had seen it, and I was so proud to have 7 subscribers already. I thought that was all the traction that it would get, so I logged off and started working on this video. A friend messaged me and prompted me to check again, and I did. And holy crap, guys. Thank you so much. I am so incredibly grateful to those of you that took your time to view the video, comment, and even subscribe. I am very excited to keep creating these and seeing where it takes me. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. Back to the illustration. Here's the final product. I hope you like it. Thank you for joining me today, and if you like the videos or find them interesting, you could, you don't have to, but you can. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!